told my boys, it ain't no limits. Told all my dogs, it ain't no limits. Put your head in the game, head in the game, head in the game. Head in the game, head in the game. I'm whipping in track, I was left up suspension. I drove it so fast that I blew out the engine. I kept it too real ever since the beginning. I play offensive D, I might switch my position. Lil' mama was thirsty, so I had to quench. I'ma drive real fast, cause you know I shoot quick. Just like traffic Kelsey, I be having emotions. Just like a lamb, man, you know I'm exploding. My heart cold, bad, I ain't got emotions. I'm going hard, yeah, you know I'm devoted. We running street, yeah, you know we control it. She love the kids, she be busting it open. I'm quarterbacking like I'm Kyler Murray. Trying to win, I'm up at practice early. Going crazy, I just real the jersey. It's the first half, and we done dropped 30. We just up to scoring them, boy, man. I told my boys, it ain't no limits. Told all my dogs, it ain't no limits. Put your head in the game, head in the game, head in the game. Head in the game, head in the game.
Money on my mind, head in the game. It's like I scored again, diamonds on them dance. I can hear the music playing with them bands. Crowd going wild, dived in the fans. I'm locking in on a mission, I tell her my vision. You young and she get like me. I got your shorty, she with me. I gave her a jersey, I told her to join my team. It's best you go where it's safe. You know how I play. I get to a sack like Frank. You can teach money to fly. I turn it up hop. I catch it and go to the bank. It's crazy, I'm used to the lights. I'm shining so bright. This visor to cover my face. You see me working and working. I'm getting it done. And soon they be feeding me grapes.
I told my boys, it ain't no limits. Told all my dogs, it ain't no limits. Put your head in the game, head in the game, head in the game. Head in the game, head.
We are down on the bayou as you get a look inside the Superdome here in New Orleans. Tonight, it's a good Week 9 matchup here on a Monday night between the Minnesota Vikings and the New Orleans Saints. First 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? Kene Nwangwu now out of his end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And not the start he was hoping for there as he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Calling no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. This defense for the Saints, they were excellent in that win over the 49ers last week.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win. But definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
12 yards there, first down Vikings.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. Got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
They go play action. Cousins. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Cousins looking left side and he's got a man. That's Cook. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Again, it's Cousins. Right back to Cook for another completion. And he is stopped just short on third down. Got 9 yards, but needed 10. So on fourth down, Ryan Wright on to punt for Minnesota. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. This will be taken at the 10. 13 yards the tally on the return there. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10.
Ready, strike!
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
From the 34 now, here's first and 10. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. He'll find his tight end. It's Adam Troutman. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
They fake the handoff. Now Tua. There's Chris Olave. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. Well, only 3 plays in here, but really, Charles, a solid start for this offense, and now we'll see if they can continue their mission to end this drive in 6.
And I wonder if their play caller right now is reflecting on that last big play that they've had on this drive. Do you come back with something similar, or do you have a counter to it to kind of show it and go to something else and create another big play?
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. The Saints at 6-2 to start play. They come in playing really well on both sides of the ball. They've won 6 of their last 8, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. It's complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 14. The play goes for 19 yards, gives them a new set of downs. Back to the ground, it's Kamara. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Alvin Kamara with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Saints will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. Lutz good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Nuwangu now from his end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. And the Saints pressure gets it. Brought down for a sack. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, that's an excellent way to get the pass rush activated. The first sack of the game for them comes on the first play of the drive, and it makes it very tough for the opponent to pick up a first down now, playing behind the sticks.
Throwing on second and long. Cousins. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. They find the safety on the blitz, and he busts through, dropping for the yard loss.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here third and long. To throw now in his own end zone. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number one. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. And here's Ryan Wright now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there. Oh, what a move. A 46-yard punt, 4-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
Early in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a two-game losing.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Andrew Booth picks it off. And the Vikings are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true. But you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really, on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
We'll get this to about the 38.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Cousins now. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 and the 44. That's good for a gain of 6. And that's going to make it third down and less than a yard. Working out of the gun, Cousins. He's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a good call there. That brings up 4th. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is taken at the 10. And the Saints are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. And this is no good. Missed the PAT, so they fail to connect, and this remains a 13-0 game. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. Nwangu now from his end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board. I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Now they're setting up the wide receiver screen here on the right side. Room here to run. And he's going to be shoved out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 45 yards.
This would made the West Coast offense a staple around the NFL in the 80s and 90s. You don't have to push the ball deep downfield to come up with big plays, and there's an example of that right there.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
From the 4, it's 2nd and a couple. Here's Cook again. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down movement.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The defense looked geared up to stop the run, but obviously, Charles, they were ready for the pass, too.
Yeah, they were hoping they could catch everyone crashing and playing the run, but that was a very ill-advised throw right there. The opportunity, lost.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive. Under pressure, and down he goes in the end zone, and that's a safety.
The goal here is about getting any kind of positive yardage in this spot because you don't care who, you don't care how. You just want to try and buy a little space and get away from your own end zone. But in this spot, the defense was all over that play and equally motivated to stick them with a safety. Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10 at the 40. They start the drive with Cook. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
From just shy of midfield, Cousins. Throw left side complete. That's Cook. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Cousins now to throw on first down. Throw caught there by Osborne. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Throwing, Cousins. Setting up the screen for Cook. And some space here. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a one-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. Peyton Turner there on the tackle.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense, and guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Cousins. Swinging this out wide here for Cook. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. 2nd down from the 8. They can get a 1st down by reaching the 5. Back to the ground, Cook. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 in the play. So 3rd and inches, and this will be the 9th play of the drive. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
Now they bring a receiver in motion right. Now they'll put a receiver in motion left. Final play of the half, Cousins. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. Set now to go for the 3rd quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. And we will not see a return to start the half, as this will be a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Here's Tagovailoa on 1st and 10. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if your team has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out, and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time, worked well for a solid gain.
So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And now it's 3rd and 3.
That's a nice job defensively to make sure everyone was accounted for, because ordinarily, you pick up the guys downfield, and sometimes you forget about the running back. In this case, they did not, and dropped him for no gain.
Tagovailoa going to try and throw on 3rd down. He'll get this to his tight end, Troutman. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 41. Again, they will throw it with Tagovailoa. He gets it to Thomas. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. 2nd and 5. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And that one opened up for him well, as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
Two is right complete there to Thomas. And they got this down to about the 12-yard line.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked by the linebacker, Brian Asamoah. And the Vikings are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in, coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
Following the interception, Cousins. And he'll find Thielen on the right. Puts it on the carpet. It's out. And this is picked up by the Saints. Racing to the end zone. And he's into the end zone. A fumble return. And a Saint touchdown. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one. And it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that. That's what they've done all game long.
Preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Nuwanger now from his end zone. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
A give left side to Cook. 46 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Play action now, Cousins. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
That's to Cook out of the backfield. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Marcus May with a pick. And the Saints are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. They run it again with Kamara, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. Got an open man. It's Olave. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. A big gain of 28 as the drive continues.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen.
There he goes, left side. Touchdown, New Orleans. A big play there. He scored on a punt return, and now he scored through the air. And the Saints are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter. Lutz to try to end the PAT. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Nuwanger now from his end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Cousins. He'll dump this off to Cook. And he goes out right around the 39. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it's 2nd down.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. We just saw shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too.
1st down, here's Cousins. Incomplete, right side to Cook. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackle. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game.
And the third interception thrown by Cousins. Picked off by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the Saints are going to have it here at their own 15. They begin on the ground with Kamara. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Again, it's Kamara. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down. Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he is going to have a Saints 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Kamara up the middle. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time. The offense on 3rd down tonight, a perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Tua. And that's caught by his tight end, Dalton Keene. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. run there. Returns it 14 yards. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Working with a 2nd and 3. Here's Cousins. And he's taken down here by the Saints. To Sean Wooden. What an effort from him on that play. Big tackle for a loss of 11. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. They'll set up to throw. Under pressure, they got him again. A loss of 3 on a sack made by multiple defenders. Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Marcus May with a pick. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. For this defense, CD, that's kind of the icing on the cake here as we get to the end of this one.
And didn't you feel that they weren't just going into total prevent there? You know, they had the lead, and sometimes you fall back and you lose your aggressiveness. Not in this case. They were still making a play on the football, and look how that one turned out. They may have salted this one away.
Adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it's just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the 2nd half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for New Orleans, the win will move them to 7-2 now on the year, and they'll hit the road next week to take on the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they fall 2 games under 500 now at 3-5. And they'll try to make amends next week as they host the Cleveland Browns.